and welcome to the video lecture regarding strategies, 5 basic strategies for setting up a distributed database environment. So the first one's going to be a centralized database with distributed access, right? A replication with periodic snapshot updates. We've got replication with near real-time synchronization of updates. We've got partitioned with one logical database, what appears to be one database, but it's, so when they say one logical database, it appears that way, but obviously it's distributed. And partitioned, independent, non-integrated segments that are out there. We've talked about these. We've talked about advantages and disadvantages of the different replication strategies and partitioning and centralized database. But what factors do you have to take into consideration? So when you're choosing one of these strategies, first of all, it's funding. The number one force is going to be how much money do you have. Regardless of what you think you might need, the facts of the matter is you may not have the funding to support the best case scenario. So depending on how much money you have is a serious consideration. The autonomy, right? And a lot of times I associate autonomy, or when I think of autonomy, I think about politics. So that's one area or one location's ability to have full control over what they consider their information. And then there's security. Can you support, security-wise, a distributed database? So now, if you've got real-time snapshot, all of your corporate data is now replicated in a bunch of different sites, which makes security people sweat and lose sleep at night. The other part of it is the frequency and the locality or clustering of the reference to data. So how often are people accessing local data or clustered data, and how often do they reference it, and where are they referencing it from? Growth and expansion needs. Is this a young company or is this a mature company? Is this a shrinking company? Are we considering purchasing another company where the entire environment is going to get much more complicated? What are your technological capabilities? Do you have staff that knows how to do replication? Are you going to have to hire a whole host of IT staff to support this endeavor? And a lot of that has to do with funding. So technological capabilities. Can you afford the database management systems that support replication, for instance? Not all of them do. And the ones that do, when you want to use that capability, they become very, very expensive. And again, the cost of managing the complex technologies. That's people, that's equipment, licensing, and the need for reliable service. How much latency can you tolerate, for instance? The next slide, and again, I am not going to go over this entire slide with you in this video lecture. You can check this out in the textbook or on the PDF. So this is the comparison of the strategies and their reliability, their expandability, their communications overhead, their manageability, and their data consistency. I will leave that to you to peruse and study for yourself. But that is the end of my video lecture on strategies associated with distributed databases.